For over 40 years, countless adventurers have been trapped in gamers' basements, conventions, and game shops.
And now we can post that shit online and beam it directly to you.
Follow Adar, Talia, Hugor, and Brigid
as they journey through the Princes of the Apacolypse, a 5th edition D&D campaign.
Welcome to 4 Players, 1 Dungeon, an F-Pod podcast. Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of the 4 Players, 1 Dungeon podcast. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Great. Gonna be a good time, man.
Yeah, we're doing something a little new tonight. We're coming back at you, of course, live on a Saturday night. But we're going to be starting the brand new Dungeons & Dragons campaign for 5th edition called Princes of the Apacolypse. We're also switching DMs, as we're known to do here on 4 Players. So we're going to have Bo Perkins taking over as our DM.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. Giving Sean a break.
Yay!
Sean gets to play for a while.
That's right.
And Sean, who are you playing?
I am playing Talia Starwind.
I tell you what, man. Why don't you give me just one
All
moment?
right.
And as a new DM, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say thanks, man, because you ran for a couple months.
So cheers to Sean.
Cheers to Sean, definitely. Second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give the backdrop to where our characters are currently, and then we'll get descriptions then.
All right.
How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. So, the characters that we're going to follow into Princes of the Apacolypse are characters who played through the Dungeons & Dragons starter set adventure that was called The Lost Mines of Phandelver. And they were pre-generated characters, and then as we got more comfortable with the rules, we just made the characters into what we wanted to play based off of what we already had. And they just morphed into more personalized characters when the player's handbook came out and we had more resources. With that, you're finding a group of characters who are entering at level 4 because of the deeds they have done in Phandelver. Or actually, it's called Phandalin. They're local heroes. They are in good standing with the constable, whose name is Sildar Hallwinter. And Sildar is it's openly known that Sildar is a member of the faction, the Lord's Alliance. Now, because you had saved his life during that adventure, he's been really good about giving you some heads up anytime there's something maybe lucrative to do. After the adventure, The Lost Mines of Phandelver, I'm saying maybe a month has gone by. And in that whole adventure, the only thing that was unresolved was Steve's character, Hugor, I believe, had a tie-in with a criminal organization. And there was would you like to explain it at this point?
Sure. Hugor was once a member of the criminal organization known as the Red Brands.
Correct.
They were a thieves organization, basically. He did odd jobs for them, break-ins, lootings, that kind of thing, robberies. He had completed a very dangerous mission at one point, and their leader was a man by the name of Glassstaff.
Right, yeah. And I believe Glassstaff, you somewhat separated yourself. You kept a distance from like the group of thugs and such because you actually come from nobility.
I do. So I've always been the black sheep of the family,
Right.
and I actually have a kind of a flaw of falling in with the underground. This is one of my stints. I got desperate again, trying to gather. I'm always trying to gather troops to my cause. That's kind of one of my traits. I have a goal and a history and a background that I'll get into a little bit later on once we do the character descriptions further. But I was screwed over by Glassstaff of the Red Brands, and I have a kind of a vengeance quest going.
It's a Kill Bill style revenge yarn.
Yes.
Right. Well, anyway, whenever the Red Brand hideout was dealt with from the group, the Red Brands that did survive, they scattered, and Glassstaff got away. And immediately, Sildar put a bounty on Glassstaff's head. And I would say, well, I think it was like 100 gold pieces, and it was like 200 if he was brought back alive, so the Lord's Alliance could deal with him, because Glassstaff, you find out, was a member of the Lord's Alliance that went rogue. So they have a vested interest in getting him. He is at large. What I'd like to do at this point is I'd like to go ahead and start with Sean, who is playing Talia.
Yes, Talia.
Who, first off, we should say is a female character, correct?
Yes, female character. I'm playing a female character, yes. We can everybody can have a good...
Now that that's out in the open.
Yes, it's out in the open, and no, I will not be trying to speak in a female voice.
No.
Damn it. That's what I was hoping for.
No, ain't happening.
Hi, boys.
Yeah, no, it ain't happening.
I say we go raid the camp.
I'd rather sound like Jeff Goldblum's Fred on Independence Day. How you guys doing?
But why don't you give us a description and a quick, brief background of Talia?
Talia, I'm playing Talia Starwind. She is a fighter that's an Eldritch Knight, a spellcasting fighter, and she's also a wizard. So she's kind of dual class. She has a longsword and a dagger, and they're basically, it's a katana and the Tonto dagger, which she's a noble who's also an orphan. Her parents were killed.
Wait.
Yes.
An orphan noble.
Yes.
Okay.
Her parents were killed. Her uncle raised her.
Yeah.
Her cousin killed her uncle, put a bounty on her head.
Okay. So she's wanted.
That's
Yes.
rude.
Now, what race is Talia?
Half-elf.
Half-elf. Okay.
Yes.
And what's her lineage? You said she had a kind of interesting lineage, right?
Yes, I won't get into that there. I was planning on doing my own little speaker podcast thing for her whole backstory. It's a little long-winded.
Okay.
But she doesn't place herself above common people. Everybody has the same color blood. She'll help the people that helps her. She'll face any. Ironically, even though both sides of her family are dead, she still tries to win their approval of her faction.
The standard of
Yes.
what she should be.
Yes,
Right.
She tries to set herself to a high standard.
So could Talia maybe become the matriarch of the family?
Yes,
Excellent.
which it will go into the backstory.
So apparently you need to stay away from this cleric named Varus. This dude lays pipe every Go right ahead. I didn't
But
mean to interrupt.
her biggest flaw is she never really fully trusts anybody due to being, her cousin trying to kill her,
And she slept with Varus.
so she's roughly about 5'4" in height,
Yeah.
small build,
Okay.
brown or brunette. She's a brunette. She's
Yeah.
got green eyes. She's actually of Kara-Turan human ancestry.
So an Asian.
An Asian half elf.
Right. So she's the human side is Asian
Yes.
in her. Excellent. That makes her kind of pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about titties.
Asian schoolgirl type.
Okay. Cool.
Hmm.
Okay.
So none.
Are we talking like Polynesian transvestite or?
Wow, no, where'd that come from?
Whoa!
This is not what I had
Whoa!
pictured
We're
at all.
not ready for you yet.
Or a
Jason.
transsexual thing going
No,
on?
You hold your character descriptions.
Hi,
so
my
that
name's
you-
Talia.
All right. Well, is there anything else that TV Land needs to know about Talia?
No, other than that, she's pretty. She doesn't really speak much, but she's pretty. She'll tell the
A
Pope.
devoted member of the party.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's a badass.
Well, We'll hope.
Okay.
She's a badass.
All right. Well, who would like to go next? You want to go around the board?
All right, well, I guess Hugor will go next then. I am playing Hugor of the Hill, or Hugor Hill. Hugor is a noble who comes from the High House of Hill. They're moon elves. They're actually a nobility among the moon elves who have kind of lost their power a little bit. Hugor is actually the firstborn son and heir to the keep,
estate.
basically,
Sure.
the estate. But there was a kind of a three-way struggle among House High Tree and House Tressa. Lioness Tressa, they were trying to betroth both me and the heir for House High Tree to the same woman. Well, he ended up winning out, so I challenged him in a duel, which I won, but I won by nefarious methods. He was beating me, and I actually kind of reached down and grabbed a handful of dirt and flung it in his eye.
Oh.
And I killed him. So I won the duel, and I was supposed to be betrothed, was supposed to be the happenstance of this duel, but because of the way I won, they called it forfeit, and I basically lost my place in line for inheritance and was cast out. So I'm kind of the black sheep of the family at this point.
You're an exile.
Hugor is an arcane trickster, so he's basically been a rogue all his life. Like I said, he has a flaw where he tends to fall in with the wrong crowd. So he's learned the dark skills, made some criminal contacts, he knows how to pick locks,
Right.
really good at hiding in the shadows. He's very nimble, he's always worked on his acrobatics a lot. He's also very timid. He's open, very vocal, and very talkative in public settings. But when it comes to battle, he doesn't want to battle anybody face to face.
Sure.
He wants to go hide in the shadows and let the warriors of the group handle the combat.
So with this group, because everyone has fought together, they know that you're usually not first to strike. You're usually angling and looking for the time when Talia or the other characters maybe have somebody committed on them, and then you move in and
Hugor likes to play a
assist.
support role at first. He has a tendency to use his mage hand to try to disarm opponents and use tricks of the mind to try to distract people to give our warriors the advantage.
Sure.
While he moves around and gets in a good spot to actually make his attack.
Gotcha.
No, for a description, Hugor is about 5'5". He's a little bit shorter, very thin, nimble, slick, quick with everything he does. Like I said, he will be the first one to speak out in a group, and he has kind of a louder, booming voice a little bit. But at the same time, he'll be the first one to shy away if something gets threatening.
Sure.
Dress is kind of fancy. He actually has a kind of multicolored, weird green to black to blue kind of fading cloak that he wears over this bright red and goldish brass armor stifflet that he has. Stifflet, that's what I'll call it. I just patented a word.
Stifflet.
It's a stifflet. It's like a robe, but it's stiff. It's a stifflet.
Excellent.
There you go.
All right, that sounds like it's going to be fantastic, man. I'm glad to have him back at the table. I love this group. This group is such a fun group. So we have Maggie and Jason who would like to go.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'm playing Adar Firefist. So my character is a dwarf. He's actually going to match the picture on the F-Pod now.
We're just not talking about that. That just gets left out.
Was not a dwarf. Adar was a part of kind of a mix. He had his mother's side, who was mostly very clerical in their endeavors. They were priests. They were acolytes. They did a lot with knowledge, tomes, and lore. But his father's side was known as like the straight fighters. I mean, they would just brawl anyone over anything. It's like, hey, you dropped a drop of my meat on the floor, I'm going to beat your ass. And like literally, if a hair fell on them wrong, they just wanted to fight. So he took the two of them and combined, and that's why he's basically a war cleric. He's a frontline fighter who can heal people, you know? It's like, I'll beat your face in, then I'll heal you.
And once again, I think it's been proven that you're very dependable and loyal to your teammates. And,
Right.
Yeah.